and welcome back. It's not been that long, which is weird, I know, because last year was a bit crazy and I started, then I stopped, and I started, and here we are. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about more toys, and more mostly current toys. Namely, the DC Multiverse line, which is now produced by McFarlane Toys. In 2015, Mattel at San Diego Comic-Con was announced as the manufacturer that will be making the DC Multiverse line. But unfortunately, in 2019, they lost the rights to McFarlane Toys, which since 2020 has been making the DC Multiverse line. Todd McFarlane is a name that a lot of people may recognize, as he was one of the artists in the late 80s who worked on things like Batman and Spider-Man for Marvel Comics, before leaving in the early 90s to co-found Image with other creators. Seemingly, he has gone from strength to strength with all of his business endeavors and now manufactures toys for a company that he actually left. So it's a weird world, ain't it? So we're going to have a look at two figures and see basically how they stack up. So we're going to look at Batman and Superman, respectively. Firstly, for what these guys are, it's very impressive. And they are basically high-end sculpted figures at a retail price point. And that's both good and bad. I'll explain why in a moment. But let's look at Batman first. He comes with an artwork card, much like an old baseball card or playing card. Two axes as weapons, which again, great sculpts too, and made of a kind of softer plastic, which are more pliable, which I do get it, I understand. They're weapons. You do kind of want that kind of soft plastic for any kids that may get their hands on these. He also comes with the two Build-A-Figure arms, which he is packaged with because of the wave. It's a Dark Knight's metal wave, so the Build-A-Figure is the Merciless, and the arms are pretty cool. They're a swirly blue plastic with only one hinge joint at the elbow, sadly, but that's just due to size. It's pretty good. And like all DC Multiverse figures, he does come packaged with a figure stand, which, yes, that is appreciated. His cape, though, is in like Dark Knight's metal, the story, which is what the figure is based on, true. But it's all torn and ragged. While it's a good look stylistically for Batman, especially from the story, he's usually known for long flowing capes, so that kind of hinders the overall look of the figure for me personally. Again, the cape is made of a softer plastic, which is more pliable and helps with movements, but it's still as it is. The figure sculpt is great. It's got a ball joint at the base of the neck instead of the top, which is strange, but there's lots of small details, even including a second Batman logo in his stomach, and obviously the butterfly joints in his arms, double elbow articulation, but the wrists are kind of hampered by his bigger gauntlets. Yeah. Waist and ab joints. Legs are fully posable with the double knee joints also, as standard in most modern figures these days. And just coming back to the cons for a second, yes, this is a really good sculpt at a retail price point, which mostly when you get sculpts like these, or NECA or Hot Toys, they do come with a pricey price tag. And the lower price point is great for collectibles. Hell, GameStop even had 20% off, I think, on some of these figures only just recently. So what you're basically getting is quite a lot of QC issues. For instance, I'm not actually reviewing this guy or taking an in-depth look, but I did also pick up the unmasked Batman Flashpoint figure, and I gotta say, there's a lot to be left desired for this. Mostly because one knee is completely articulated and works how it should. The other, and you can probably see just here where the plastic is a lot lighter, that's a stress mark because only one side of his double knee joint actually articulates. And I have tried everything to try and get this guy to go. The point is, yes, they are great figures to look at, and the sculpts are absolutely flawless for what they are for the figure. But let's be honest, a lot of people will expose their kids to comic books, especially if they're fans themselves. Let's be honest, kids will be heavy-handed, and great sculpts to look at doesn't always transfer well with playability. Now let's be honest, kids will be heavy-handed, and yeah, they might be great to look at on shelf for collectors, but kids will read comics. They are part of pop culture osmosis at this point. Everyone will know who Superman is, or Batman, or even Spider-Man. So kids will see these toys on the shelves along with their lower end counterparts and probably pick these, as they do look a lot more appealing. The problem with that will be breakages. If there's a lot of QC issues and kids are playing with these, I can see a lot of broken toys on eBay in like 15 years time. Now with that small rant out of the way, let's move on to the Man of Steel, or the Man of Tomorrow, depending on which book you're reading. Again, he comes with the same baseball playing card that we got with Batman, but the toys picture is used and not artwork, which is a Rebirth Superman, so I would have really expected Rebirth artwork and not toy photo. There's not really any accessories that he comes with, but he does come with a figure stand with a flight stand which slides into the base. That is kind of appreciated, as a lot of figures don't come with those, like other comic book companies we could mention. Usually, a separate flight stand will cost anywhere between $10 to $20. So again, that inclusion here is a big bonus. The sculpt, like Batman, is great. Unlike being from certain artists' work, however, this Superman is a sort of cross between a comic book version and a live action version, which in my eyes makes his look here in the toy even more unique. He does have all the same points of articulation, same butterfly joints, same torso joints, same double jointed elbows and knees. In hand though, he does feel very clicky and squeaky. Maybe due to him being fresh out of the box, but he does still pose like a boss. The cape, again, is made of soft plastic, which is styled on his Rebirth design, and it's very fitting of Superman. No S-shield on the cape, but small potatoes. And just to see, here's a quick look at Supes on his flight stand, which kind of leans forward, but he is just in a kind of generic, normal standing pose. And just because I like comparison shots, here's Batman next to the modular Iron Man, which is basically the standard size of a Marvel Legend recently, so you can kind of see the difference in scale from DC to Marvel. So, with all the good and bad that I've mentioned, with small QC issues and everything else like the cape, are these worth what you could pay for them? Yeah, they are. They're great looking, they pose well, and if they work correctly and all the joints don't screw up, these are really great figures. And for a basically $22 price point, what more do you want, really? And with the price hikes going up on figures in the next few months, I'd say get what you can on clearance and sale while it's still January. So they're good figures. I really don't know how to end videos. I just want to say something's good and then say thank you for watching and bye. Why not just do that? This is Toy Scourge saying thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, maybe subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Leave a comment down below on how I can help improve the channel, anything you might want me to look at. And yeah, you guys have a great day, and see you later, nerds.